Greetings, BlazeLeeDragon here, and I have some excellent freaking news. And I'm sure you understand what the news is already based upon the title of this video. So yes, I am BlazeLeeDragon. Did I already say that? I'm probably losing my mind. It happens. So I got a message from someone today, and it's basically that the VA approves Thor's hammer for gravestones. How cool is that? Now, there's some links that I'll send you, and these links are pretty cool. So apparently there is now 56 symbols that are recognized by the VA. So essentially, when our soldiers die, they can have it etched into their gravestones, which is freaking awesome. I just think that's freaking awesome. So, yeah, the Department of Veteran Affairs approves the Hammer of Thor as one of the 56 emblems troops can request to have placed on their headstones. Veteran Affairs. And, of course, this other one's kind of cool. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, Asatrus have the ability now to have this up. Now, what's an Asatru? Those are people who follow Asatru. Now, what's Asatru? I don't know if I've done a video on this before or not. I will definitely want to do one. I think this is my best one. I know I've got another one that's on Norse Magic. Yeah, by DJ Conway. So, Norse Magic, DJ Conway. Living Asatru by Greg Dukes Shetler. These great books, very good books. I especially like the way his writing style is. And the reason I like Greg's writing style is he specifically says that this is his take on Asatru. This is not the one-all, be-all of all Asatrus. This is just his personal take. Now, what is Asatru? Excuse me. Essentially, what Asatru is it is the Norse religion. Now, they don't really consider themselves pagans, they consider themselves heathens. Now, this also has to do with my bloodline, which is why I get a kick out of this, as does some other things, since I'm quite a mutt. But yes, on my mother's side, my grandmother is Icelandic. She actually came from Iceland. My mother was actually born there, came over as a baby. But regardless, essentially, what you have going on is, in this ancient time period, or older times and all that, the Asatru was not the name that they had. I don't even know if they had a specific name. And of course, most of the Norse people have converted to some form of Catholicism. Not all, but a lot of them have, so it's very hard to find it. Some individuals actually call themselves Odinists, and they refer to it as Odinism instead of Asatru. Now, Asatru, what it is there's the Asas, and the Asas are the gods, basically. And then True has to do with, like, the faith. So it's like the true faith in the gods is what it basically stands for. And the interesting thing about Asatru is it's a lot different than a lot of the polytheistic paganisms. Now, like I said, they consider themselves heathens, and they call it heathenism instead of pagans and paganism. Now, so what's the difference? Well, it depends on who you talk to. Of course, the Christians labeled anyone as heathens and pagans that were not Christian, especially during a lot of the inquisitions and things like that. Now, with heathens, they like to separate themselves, especially, like I said, the Odinists and the Asatrus, and the reason that they do that is where paganism has to do with looking at the earth and everything as being divine and something to be worshipped. As far as I understand, especially in Greg's book, and from what I understand, like I said, a lot of my ancestors and my family, that part of our past has been mostly buried. There's very little of it left. And the ones that do practice and are doing the revival movement, from what I understand, they instead will honor the gods through their actions. So instead of praying and begging the gods for help, they do it themselves, and they show the gods that they are worthy of getting help. So if they get help, it's because of how well they did. They proved that they were worthy. And if they have not, they fall, then they did so doing their best. That's very, very, very different things. So instead of everything being sacred and needs to be worshipped, yeah, they believe in nature and all this stuff, but they don't believe it needs to be worshipped. They believe in the self and aspiring to the best that you are based upon the gifts the gods gave you and inner strength and things like that. So it's very interesting. I was not familiar with the fact that they used Thor's hammer as a symbol of Asatru, and I don't think all Asatrus do. My brother does. He actually has Thor's hammer tattooed onto his leg. Now, one of these websites, and I'll post these below so that you can read these. These were sent to me by the individual who messaged me on YouTube. They actually have the 9 noble virtues, which I thought was kind of interesting. Courage, being brave enough to do what is right in all circumstances. Truth, to always speak what is true to one's heart and mind. Honor, one's inner value towards their endeavors, knowing they are of good and true nature. Fidelity, being true to oneself and loyal to one's folk and mate. Discipline, the ability to be hard with oneself first and then others. The hardiness to carry out goals and endeavors. Hospitality, sharing what one has with all folk. When there is a feast to be had, feast. When there is but bread, break it gladly. Work ethic, to joyfully carry out the tasks of life that support home, family. To be glad and respectful of one's abilities. Self-reliance, to know with heart and mind that one's spirit is independent and free among all men. Perseverance is the spirit of success, the ability for one to follow one path regardless of failure or success, to learn from mistakes and recognize the progress of a situation. That's pretty cool. So, needless to say, I feel this is a great victory. Hooray for Asatru. That's so freaking awesome that it's being recognized. And the only complaint that I have doesn't have to do with Asatru, but the pentagram or pentacle that was recognized. I think that's freaking awesome, but from what I understand, the VA recognizes it as a Wiccan symbol. So anybody else who uses the pentagram or pentacle, it's recognized as the Wiccan symbol instead of whatever polytheistic faith that they particularly use or spiritual path that they use. Yeah, it's number 37. Let me go ahead and show you this, if I can turn it like that. The Wicca pentacle. So that's a little upsetting. But number 55, Hammer of Thor. Hammer of Thor. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see that on the screen. It's right there. Hammer of Thor, number 55. Recognized by the VA emblems. And like I said, number 37, they have Wicca and they have it as a pentacle. Maybe they'll add the pentagram, and then it can be, more universal and stuff like that. And it would be kind of cool if they could get the 3 rays of Awen recognized for the druids. Although I guess not all druids call it Awen, and not all of them are going to use the 3 rays. I guess it's specific to Obad. Still, it's really cool that they're recognizing more symbols, and they're giving more respect to those who die for our country and fighting for what they believe in. I just think that's absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, I'm just kind of glancing over the other symbols really quick to see if there's anything else that stands out. Oh, they even have a symbol for atheists. That's freaking awesome. Of course, Hindus. Ooh, the Buddhists. They have the Wheel of Righteousness. I guess that's for the 8 Noble Truths. I do not see the Taoist symbol, the yin-yang. But still, it's progress. It's definitely progress being made. So, yeah, they don't have that. So, anyway, I think that's freaking awesome. I just can't say it enough that that's cool that people are fighting for what they believe in, and they're getting acknowledged and recognized. That just goes to show you that if you believe in something and you put forth the effort, you can get recognized, and there can be acceptance and tolerance going on. So, awesome job, people. I'll send you these links. Check them out, read it. So, thumbs up. And thumbs up and like and subscribe my video. Ask questions, make more suggestions on videos that you would like to see, or questions you'd like to have answered in my personal opinion and interpretation of the world. So, this is BlazeLeeDragon. Thanks for watching.